Hi, good everybody. It is Etienne Marcel Pertut, and welcome to another edition of Fighting Peaches. We're going to be previewing Georgia State's football contest tomorrow against South Alabama with starting quarterback Cameran Brown, who talks about playing his first full contest for the Panthers last week against Georgia Southern, and much more. Before we get to Cameron, as always, to follow everything that we do, go to the mothership, to sportsinquirer.net, premier site for news and notes in the world of sports. You can also go to our social media platforms on Twitter/X, Instagram, and Facebook. And finally, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our audio and video hosts, including YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and more. As I mentioned, the Panthers are hosting South Alabama tomorrow on October 22nd, 23rd at home at Center Park Stadium. And we're going to be at the contest. Very excited about that, and we'll have some good post-match analysis, post-game analysis there. But before we get to that matchup or see the matchup, we're going to hear from Cameron talking about all things Georgia State, really just starting from his development of joining the team, and now looks like he's establishing himself as a starting quarterback for the squad. Enjoy.
Last shot is in the past, but I think personally, I think I did decent. I think there's some things that I need to get better at. There's a couple passes that I missed, some certain like things that I need to pick up on, or maybe just have a higher motor or push the guys more. But I think my performance was decent, but it wasn't enough to get the job done. We didn't get the win. So there's anything as long as I didn't get the win. I feel like there's something that you can always improve on.
What was stuff from when you got here on campus to this point that you felt like you wanted to work on the most and improve on, and where have you seen that?
I would say probably just my mental game. The physicality of the game really has not been a problem for me. It was more mentally. I would say this: like I played 1 year of high school football at quarterback, and after that I went straight to college. So I kind of my learning curve was kind of in college, like learning coverages. Obviously, you got the cover one, cover two, cover three, but then once you get into three buzz, three sky, 3 week, I didn't really know what those were. So I say that even till this day, like I'm still like working on just making sure that my mind is the most mentally sharp, so I can perform the best.
And how important was it just to, because there's been a rotation at quarterback throughout the entire year, but to start the game and finish it, obviously the result wasn't what you wanted, but just to
Right.
play a full contest, how important do you think that is for just your overall development, to play a
Um,
full game?
I would say that it didn't play a part in like my full development because at the same time, TJ, he's a great quarterback. When we were rotating in, there's something like he's played a lot of football. He's been to multiple different schools. He's a lot older than me. He's a veteran, so he knows a lot more things. So even when he was playing, he was putting me on game. Even when he was coming off to the sideline, I'm like, hey, what you see right here? Or in practice, I'm like, hey, what you see? So it's always, I wouldn't say that playing a full game helped me develop the most. I would say that even when rotating, I was still developing. Even if you're not, playing that full game, you still got mental reps and you can still learn from each other.
I guess how much easier does life get when you have a guy like Ted Hurst that you can trust in those key spots you can throw to? Big
Uh, yeah. Ted, he's a great guy. He's a playmaker. He's a hard worker. And one thing that I would say about him, like even though yes, he makes the great catches and he makes the big plays, also he's a great blocker. I'll say that he's very physical on the edge. He's very on the perimeter. He loves playing for his brother. I'll say that one thing about him. Like you see him on certain plays, he'll run down the field trying to make a block when somebody has the ball. So yeah, it makes it very easy for somebody that most of those 50-50 balls are not really 50-50. So it kind of leads in your favor, and you kind of know that you can trust them in the time of need.
Coach mentioned, and I'm not going to get personal, but he said there's you're dealing with some things maybe off the field, or I don't know if that, whatever that is. He says you've been able to kind of work through that, and
Right.
now you're finding your form.
Right.
What's that been like? Just you've been here a few months now, and just working through that, and now seems like you said you're in a better place just overall.
Right. I think personally, the stuff that I was dealing with, I was open with the coaches, but honestly, I don't think that has affected anything that I had going on. Even though it's dealing with a lot, and it may come off as that is hindering me from doing a certain amount of stuff. I don't think that has hindered me at all. But I do appreciate him for looking out, saying like, oh, he has a lot of stuff going on. That he's actually helped me work through it. But at the same time, I don't really think that's hindered me from my ability to play.
You're talking about you're still learning all the intricacies of offense, but you're obviously a good athlete. I guess
Right.
how do you balance like moments where it's like I think I can do this versus going through what you're getting teached week in week out and just like sticking within yourself?
Right. Honestly, it's I think the coaches in the game plan they kind of help me. They kind of help me to decide when I need to run and when I need to pass. So they do a good job in the game plan. Like, hey, if this is not open, like you can, you got your legs. And I'm fortunate enough, like I don't have to force any football. Like at the end of the day, like if the pocket breaks down or if somebody's not open, I don't have to force a football. I can use my legs. So more like they help me develop when the times that I should run, when the time that I should extend the play and try to make a pass, or when the time that I should stay a passer. So I think they help me develop in the mind where it made it easy for me, like when I get in the games that, yeah, I need to run here, or I need to pass here, or I need to extend the play, or whatever the case may be.
The last thing for me, now you're facing a short week, so it's a little
Right.
bit of a challenge. You're home, which is good. But what about handling now a short week against a South Alabama team that's obviously looking to turn their season around too? How have you been just preparing the team, or how have you been preparing just for this condensed schedule for Thursday?
Yeah, like you said, South Alabama, they're looking to turn things around. They're a good team. They're a good, well-coached team. Their record is just same as ours, but I don't feel like their record shows the talent that they have on their roster or the ability how they play. But being a short week, honestly, is more mental than physical. Obviously, we play Saturday, so a lot of players, they still got those little aches and bruises that you usually can get through the week when you play on another Saturday. But since it's a short turnaround, it's more a mental thing. What I do to prepare for it, like just watch film. Honestly, there's nothing, and watching film and getting good scout looks. Like our scouts do a great job giving us looks. So that helps us when we get in the game that, I've seen this before, because the scout team gives us a great look. Or when I watch film, like I've seen this before because I watch film, I put in the time. So I think that honestly is more of a mental thing than more of a physical than more physical.
All right, and that was Cameron Brown discussing just all things going on as far as the team and preparing for South Alabama, who they do face on a short week on October 23rd, and just him acclimating to the program. And they really handled that well. And Coach did mention Coach McGee, Del McGee, head coach of the Panthers, mentioned that he was working through some personal things, and I was going to ask a question about that. And I think he handled that well. I thought it was very trying to be respectful of it. I didn't know. I don't even know what it. I don't need to know what that exact thing is, but just how he handled it, and he had a really good answer for that. And yeah, you can just tell. Yeah, you got to play and play a complete game, and I think that's really big for him. Now, it may not translate to a victory or anything like that, but it puts the Panthers in a much better position for the entire offense when you have one quarterback in there from beginning to end, dealing with the ups and downs. And there were plenty of ups and downs in the loss to Georgia Southern last week, but that's just part of the maturation of a quarterback. So it'll be very interesting to see how he handles that as they do host a South Alabama team that also only has one win on the year and wants to improve its conference record also. So thanks for listening or watching this latest edition of the Fighting Peaches. As always, you can follow our content on the sportsinquirer.net. Go to our social media platforms on Twitter/X, Instagram, and Facebook. And finally, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our audio and video hosts, including YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and more. Until next time, good fight, good night, and be safe, y'all.